Right, hello everybody. Hope you're all doing well. If you hear any kind of squelching, the whole ground is like proper boggy. It really is. I guess it was raining late last night around this part. Anyway, yesterday I watched a TalkSport clip with, I think his name is it Adam Catterall? I think that's what his name is. Anyway, he's going in on the British Boxing Board of Control. He says that they're not fit for purpose and they're a danger to the sport. And I agree. Now he says that he's been going in on the board ever since the Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall fight. Now, is it because he shares the same last name as Jack Catterall? I don't know. Listen, I've been going in on the board for years. That's what I've been doing. Right now, he's saying that time for change. They're not fit for purpose. Now, what he's getting at here is, of course, surrounding the Conor Benn situation. That regardless of what you think of Conor Benn, did he do it, did he not do it, regardless of whether or not you think that the promoters, Eddie Hearn, Kalle Sauerland, could have and should have done something sooner, irrelevant of all that, what's the role of the British Boxing Board of Control? And I've been asking this myself. What's their role? More specifically as well, why did they, again, according to Eddie Hearn, why did they contact the press? Why didn't they just put out a public post on their social media, on their website, and allow the press to pick up on it? Why did they go to that one specific paper to leak the information? Why? Why that one specific paper? I mean, do they get paid for it? I don't know. I don't know the reason for it, okay? But that said, now he's saying that they're not fit for purpose because no matter how you look at it, and listen, I've said this before as well, that why didn't they do something about it? Now, if their answer is, well, we couldn't do anything about it because of our rules and because it was VAR and it wasn't UCAD, then you're not fit for purpose, are you? You're not. If they could have done something about it and didn't do anything about it and waited and waited and waited for the amount of weeks, bearing in mind Conor Benn failed 2 tests, then again, you're not fit for purpose. And it is a danger because how many times has this happened that we don't know about? How many times have fights gone ahead when they shouldn't have? Now, I know some people will look at the recent times and say Dillian Whyte, Oscar Rivas. Luckily for Dillian, and luckily for the board, he was found innocent. And I don't care if people believe that or not, the facts are the facts. He proved his innocence, all right? In that instance, not everybody can do that, all right? But every case does have to be answerable to his own merits, all right? You can't just give a blank thing that no matter what the PED is, this is what kind of punishment you get, and this is when it's going to be banned and whatever else. Okay? And listen, I've given my thoughts for Dillian, in my opinion, was sabotaged. Genuinely, I do. Now, I'm going to keep that bit to myself as to who I think done it and why I think they've done it. That's for another time. Now, the board, in my opinion, listen, they do some real good stuff, all right? They do. With their medical response, it's fantastic. Now, I speak to and have spoken to many board members, many of them. And some of them are very pro-board, as in Robert Smith, the General Secretary, who, again, one of them did tell me that Robert Smith is actually going to be retiring very, very soon, all right? I don't know if that's going to turn out to be true, but it is what it is. If it does, great. If it doesn't, oh well. But many people are very anti, within the board, very anti Robert Smith. They're very anti British Boxing Board of Control for how they do things, especially when it surrounds decision making. And that's the problem, right? You need a board who is strong, who will make the decisions regardless of public opinion. And it must be in the best interest of the fighters and British boxing as a whole. And it appears that the British Boxing Board of Control are not capable of that. How many times have I said this? How many videos have I covered on this one with proof of it? As I said, they do some good things with the medical response. I've proven that one. I've even showed videos of it. So I'm not here to just slate the British Box Board of Control. I'd rather not slate them. I'd rather say, you know what, they're actually really good at this, they're really good at that, and I think this, and you know what, so what, they made one mistake, but it's a lot of mistakes. And it appears that if you're an A-star referee, you get away with shit, whether you're a referee or a judge. Again, should it really be that referees and judges are one and the same? Meaning that a referee can be a judge and a judge can be a referee? I don't know. I really don't know about that. But again, I mean, that's not really that important. So yeah, change is needed. The British Box Board of Control don't seem capable of change. They've had plenty of opportunities and they don't seem to want to do it. All right? And whether or not Robert Smith retires, and let's just say he does, okay? Well, his successor is going to be a carbon copy of him. An exact replica, just a younger version. Much like he was with his predecessor. And that predecessor for the previous predecessor, and it goes on. That's what I'm saying. They're all old school. Now, they don't know that. They don't like criticism. And I've been pulled up by the board and that before, or board members, I should say, saying how Robert Smith is unhappy with me and some of the things that I say and whatever else. And you know what? If I'm wrong on something, I can always admit it, and I will make apology videos on it. I will. As I have done beforehand, right? But at the end of the day, and listen, I wonder if Adam Catterall is going to get spoken to by the board like I was. I bet he don't. I bet he don't. I bet he don't. Why? Because TalkSport are a bigger, louder platform than what I am. Me, I'm solo. Okay, I don't have people working for me. I don't have sponsors and all these kind of things. TalkSport are a huge, huge platform. I mean, as far as YouTube is concerned, okay, they're not as big as me on YouTube. I'm much bigger than what they are. But at the fact, but it won't be long before they're much bigger than me and much bigger than most. Give it time. So if a new board is going to overtake them, yes, please. I'm all for it. Sign me up. All right. I want the British Box Board of Control out. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who's got who's part of the board should be ousted. No, they can or move over to a new company, however, okay, some of them, but I would like a new consortium to take over and oust them, and as I said 3-4 years ago, a Simon Jordan. Now, I don't know whether or not Adam Catterall was saying these kind of things as a way to petition for a role in his potential new board, because I did notice that Simon Jordan was smirking when Adam Catterall was saying certain things about how the British Box Board of Control are not fit for purpose and whatever. So I do wonder if that's something that he's heard me or somebody else say before about him potentially leading a panel, a new board, to replace the British Boxing Board of Control. Now, at the end of the day, for this to happen, firstly, you do need somebody like a Simon Jordan who does care about boxers, but at the same time, you do need people who are and will be impartial. I'm not too sure if I really fit that category at all, because I'm pretty cold. Honestly, I'll throw the book at some people. But at the end of the day, there will be people out there. Now, would people like Spencer Oliver be good enough for that? I don't know. I don't know. He seems to be very biased with some and not so biased with other ones and whatever else, okay? I get the feeling from Spencer Oliver that he does have an agenda. I'm not saying that he does. I'm saying I get the impression that he does. Adam Catterall, I don't know enough about him. But Simon Jordan, if he is going to lead it, you know that he'll just be employing people that he knows. That's what he's going to do. But at the end of the day, you have to get the promoters on board. It's the only way you can do it. The only way you can do it. And that's all the promoters. Is that possible? I don't know. I imagine out of all the British promoters currently, as in the ones with TV deals, I would imagine it's probably Ben Shalom. He's probably the one that'll probably go, yeah, you know what? Why not? Because he seems like he wants change in boxing. He does. So I would imagine it wouldn't take too much convincing to get Ben Shalom to tick that box and say, yeah, sign me up. Eddie Hearn, maybe. With some of the things that he's gone through with the board, maybe. Maybe he would. Frank Warren, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Again, he's old school. He is. That's not a dig at him, but he is old school. The British Box Board of Control are old school. He's helped them out before, right? Would Dennis Hobson sign up? I imagine probably so. Would Mick Hennessy? I imagine probably so. But again, I don't know. But to do that, you do need to get all the promoters on board. And of course, you do need to have your rule book pretty watertight. Something that the British Box Board of Control do not have. And that's the reality of it. Because at the end of the day, it seems that the rule book is at the discretion of the British Box Board of Control, right, at times. Would this new board, if of course that was to ever happen, would they write up their own new rules and have things in there that could be worked around at the discretion of the board? Now, I think ultimately you do need that, but the current board, British Box Board of Control, they don't seem answerable to anybody because they are self-governed. They're self-appointed, right? This new one, I think, should have the involvement of the government. So there is always somebody to answer to. There has to be. Because if you have self-governing people, then people will do what benefits themselves. It's human nature, right? That's what will happen. Anyway, listen, that's a whole nother subject. That is, but listen, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there, including YouTubers. Yeah, you know what? I'll become part of the panel. Well, these people ain't capable of doing it. Okay? They're really not. And myself included. I don't think I am. As I said, I'm too cold-hearted. I'm too stonewall with it, with certain situations. I'm too harsh. But at the end of the day, it does need to happen. I think enough's enough. The board either need to change drastically or they need to be replaced. And I think Adam Catterall is correct. They are a danger because if there are certain things that they are powerless with, then that's no good. That's the reality of it, right? The British Box Board of Control should have power over everything when it comes to British bouts. They should have full power, but they don't. They want to follow rules that don't make head nor tail. They don't make sense, some of them. You've got too many people on there who are just scraping away at a living when they shouldn't be. Some of these people should be well retired, and I'm not being ageist here, but some of them should be, all right? Listen, that's my thoughts. I can go on and on about this one, to be honest. I'll probably do like an hour video, and nobody wants to see me do an hour video. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.